Now, he wants me to walk by faith. To walk by faith, remember the goal is for me to become more dependent upon him. So what that means is that even the things that I can do myself, he wants me to learn to depend upon him to do it. Come on now. You see, he's wanting, you see, this is the transition line. If I go to him just on the basis of emergency faith, when a fire needs to be put out, then I'm not walking by faith. And as a result, I'll have what I call the lag results. I'll be walking in a lag time where I have to wait on God. You know, a lot of times my waiting on God is the result of my undeveloped faith, because I only use my faith. I'm only dependent upon him when I've run out of all other options. See, God doesn't just want to be, he doesn't want to be first. He wants to be first and foremost. He doesn't even want to be a close first. He wants to be first and foremost. He wants to be the first person I go to, not the last person I go to. All I can do is pray now. No, he wants me to learn to be dependent upon him, to settle into that dependency. And I begin that transition by beginning to depend upon him for things that I can do myself. Begin to put your faith in him, like finding a parking space. Oh, yes, you can look for it yourself, but how about beginning to depend upon him to help for a parking spot to open up, to lead you to a parking spot? How many, when cleaning your house, why don't you begin, you could do this yourself, but why don't you begin to depend upon him to get the house clean, to put your faith in him, that he's going to cause the house to pop. Every little thing, even your relationship with your spouse or your children. Oh, sure, you could fix it yourself. Why don't you depend upon him to do it? And see, this is where the walk by faith really begins, by the things that you could do yourself. You don't. And you begin to walk with God by faith. Else, you'll just come to him on the basis of an emergency. And your faith will be so underdeveloped then. This is why God often has us wait on him for long stretches and long periods of time to develop our faith, because we're not walking by faith except under the case when it's time to put out a fire. And so what happens is, because our faith is underdeveloped, because we don't walk by faith except during or for an emergency, there's a great lag time in our waiting time. See, God has me to wait to teach me to anticipate him. That's right. That's what anticipation is. That's all faith is anticipating God. All faith is, and so God will have me to wait to teach me to anticipate God. Waiting is actually the state of anticipation, which is actually the state of faith. Haven't you noticed that when a baby cries when he's hungry, yes, the baby cries when he's hungry, but he also knows that when he cries, he's fed. And the mommy is so attuned to the baby. He even recognizes the baby's cry, and what cry means what. So attuned is the mama to the baby. So attuned is God to your cry when you're dependent upon him. Not when you go out and fix things yourself and do things yourself. No, but he recognizes your cry. But that baby, when that baby cries, he's not just crying because he's hungry or he needs to be changed or he needs help or he needs nourishment. No, that cry is a cry of hunger, but it's also the cry of anticipation. He knows that when he cries out, he's going to be fed. He knows when he cries out, he's going to be changed. He knows when he cries out, he's going to be taken care of. The cry of anticipation is, in fact, the cry of your faith. And God hears you when you cry out to him with anticipation for a change, with anticipation for nourishment, for provision, for healing, for help. He knows your every cry. Shh, shh. He knows your every cry. And he's going to calm your tears. He's going to dry your little tears up. He's going to take care of you. The large-breasted one will nourish you with provision and healing and sustenance. The cry of anticipation. When I am in the state of anticipation, I know that it's going to happen anytime. When that baby cries out with anticipation, he cries out knowing knowing that the feeding is coming, that the change is coming, that the help is coming. And that's what faith is. Faith is help. Faith is anticipation of God's help. Oh. Cry to him, child of God. Pray to him with groanings that cannot be uttered. Cry to him, pray to him with tears and prayers of anticipation. For that is all that faith is anticipating that God's moving now. That baby cries, and the longer it takes, the louder it cries, because he knows that babies cry. Every yearn, every scream, every curdle is all about anticipation. He knows when it cries hard enough that God is going to come. He knows that the mama is attuned to the very sniffle of the baby, and God is attuned to your very sniffle, albeit the sniffle of anticipation.